In this video, I'm going to show you how to quickly self-assess both your knee and ankle mobility so you can find out whether either of those are your weakest links and something you should be training. And before we start, just know that you could film yourself doing this or have a partner nearby so it's easy to grade whether these are dysfunctional movements for you. And if you have any pain or major discomfort with any of these movements, just know that's an automatic fail and that either your knee or ankle or both are your weakest links. So for these movements, I have Sheridan here as my model. First thing we're gonna do is check knee extensions, since we're already standing up straight. So let's go ahead and face the wall this way. And what we're looking for is to try to extend both knees as much as possible or straighten them as much as possible. And we're looking for the bare minimum 180 degrees, so just a straight line, which you can totally get right here. Let's go ahead and flip it to the other side. Nice, maybe a little bit more limitation. She's easily hitting about that 180 degrees that we're looking for. If this is restricted on you, you'll have a good idea, or you'll have a lot of pain or even stiffness when trying to straighten your knees. Next, we're gonna go in the opposite direction and check our knee flexion. So for this, let's stand facing the wall that way, and when we're testing our left side, we're just gonna try to kick our heel towards our butt as far as we can, and we're looking for about 120 degrees. So if this is 90, we're looking for just above that, and she's hitting that mark right around there. This might be something we wanna train, but I would say it's a pass, especially if she doesn't have any discomfort with it. Let's go ahead and check that other side when you're ready. Nice. A little bit further on this side, so she's easily hitting that 120 degrees. So good news, knee flexion is not your biggest limitation. Next, since we're still standing, we're gonna be looking at a dynamic movement, and that's just a squat. So she's already standing here. We're gonna go feet just past shoulder width, and if you need to, you can reach your arms out in front for a counterbalance. We're just trying to squat as low as we can. And to pass this, we want to be past or right at parallel, which she hits no problem. She has a good neutral spine while doing it, which is awesome. And that's a good way for us to test both our knees and our ankles with one movement. Our next two movements, we're going to be looking at knee rotation, specifically internal and external rotation. Now, many people don't know this, but your knees have a fair amount of rotation within them, and it's essential for human movement and performance. So we are going to be testing her right side here, and what we're going to be doing is thinking about gluing our heel to the ground, and you're trying to lift up your foot or your toes just a little bit, and let's go into that internal rotation, bringing that in as far as we can, and we're looking for about 30 degrees. Now, if you're not good with degrees like I am, go ahead and bring it back to the center. If you mark or put something right where your big toe is, you want to bring that in, and if all your toes can clear that line, then know your internal rotation in your knees are looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and test that other side now. So again, gluing that heel, bringing it up just a little bit where it hovers, bringing it inside. A lot more internal rotation on this side. It's looking pretty good. Let me mark that for you. So there's her big toe. Go ahead and bring it. All her toes pass. We even get to that midfoot. Internal rotation is looking really good on this left side. Next, we're going to be testing the external rotation. We're going to bring those toes slightly up, and we're going to go in the opposite direction, going outwards. Now, I didn't mention it already, but she's doing a really good job at keeping her knee still. Some of you, if you've never trained this before, might be moving this from side to side. So if you need to, you can kind of arm lock or choke your knee a little bit so it stays nice and stable, so we can really isolate that movement here. Now, with the external rotation, let's go ahead and test that again. We're looking for around 40 degrees, and you're close to that 45, so I'd say that's a nice passing score. Another way you can measure this is if you take your pinky toe, mark that. Now, can all your toes clear that? Her toes clear. We're looking pretty good on that left side. So lastly, we're going to test that external rotation on the right here, and a little bit more limited, but let's go ahead and see if we clear the toes. So I got her pinky toe marked, just past it. We're getting just to the edge of the toe. You have really good knee mobility if you're hitting the midfoot with both your internal and external rotation markers. The last movement we're going to be testing is everybody's favorite, and that's ankle dorsiflexion. So for this, we're going to be doing the one fist test. So Sheridan, I'm going to have you get in a half kneeling position like I am here, and you're going to do this up against a wall. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use this whiteboard, and she's going to put one fist right in front of her big toe, and we're going to put that next to the wall, and then now she's just going to try to drive her knee to that point. So she clearly touches that, so we know ankle mobility on her right side is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and test that same thing on our left. One fist, beautiful. Got you marked here. Go ahead and try to pass that whiteboard, nice. Now with this, you're also looking to keep your heel glued to the ground.